International Women's Day. It's not all about 8 like yesterday, but the whole month. We are going to have the whole month as we celebrate the rights of women across all over the world. So let me thank you all for coming to this activity. Transparency International, in partnership with Informal Traders Empowerment Association, thought of convening this activity where we bring together people from various stakeholders, be it informal as well as be it young. I can see young generation here is part and parcel of us today as we celebrate how best can we empower you and see what is your vision as you will be growing. So without taking much of our time, I know we are running a bit behind in terms of our program. Let me call upon Ms. Kunje to take over and lead us through this whole program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sam. I'm Agnes Magunje from Informal Traders Empowerment Association. It is a great honor to have you all here today. So Transparency International is very dear to us. Inoramba ichingotitigira gendered corruption takambotaura kuti corruption ndori kuti dzvanyirira isusu sevemadzimai kuti tisaendera mberi. But today is a special day. It's a celebration for Women's Day. And it's a great pleasure to see even the young women who are supported by these young men. It's very noble to find, men who are also involved in women's issues. And us as women, we realize that we can't go much further without the support of men. And today's theme being generation, I am generation equality. We looked at this and thought it would be very convenient for us to bring young women in leadership positions or young women who are actually influential to also come and mix with the elderly. So today we gave you an opportunity to say, no, let's come together. Let's see what it is that we can get out of this wonderful day as we celebrate Women's Day, because it is you who are very important to us. So the discussions are mostly going to be around equality. Equality, where are we as women? Where are we as young women? Where are we in this whole economic discourse? And but are women really aware of where they are supposed to be? Our roles, are they really encouraging us to take those spaces? And as I get to that point, I'm also very pleased that we have our panelists here. Mixed bag. Yes, so many a time we have, all these women. So today I said, no, we want full representation. It's unfortunate some of the ladies couldn't make it. But we would have also loved them to also join us. So I will introduce our panelists. They are not going to be speaking right now. But before I also do that, I would also want to acknowledge the presence of the CEO of our Gender Commission of Zimbabwe, Ms. Virginia Munikwa. I might not say the surname very well. Asiticha gadziriswa nekuti varipo. Saka ngatimbovamberera inokuya kwavaita nasi. Nasi izuva redu semadzimai kupombonoka ndizvonai kunyatsokufara tichingoti aiwa, we are celebrating ourselves. I know most of the times ndinenge chiti vana mama munenge muriko muchingobika muchingodi muchinotengesa hamuwanewo nguva yekungouyawo muchimbopombonoka muri muhotera tichidya hapasina kuti hanzi ndiana chabhadhara ndizvonai. Saka nasi izuva rakanaka, and we thank our sponsors, even the Swedish Embassy. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a representative from there because something crucial just happened, but munoziva zvinhu zvemande hauzowani nguva yekusona chigamba nekukurumidza, but they would have also loved to be a part and parcel of this occasion. So I won't waste any more time because our guest of honor has arrived and she will give us our speech. So let's give a round of applause to Miss Virginia. Before I even call her up, let me just say, Isuti Rimbeuye inonzi Women's University of Zimbabwe. Maona kesi ya zvanga chita apa muningina wangu ndio zvinoita madzimai kana ava empowered. Vanoziva kuti even being in the art industry, it's a business. Ndizvo nai. Takati kesi ya uya utiitire drama ungodi tikanzi munondipa mari. Tikati mashere nacho ari kunetsa tati 200 tikanzi kwete tikati 200 US tikanzi no, tikati okay 400 tikanzi no, 600 tikanzi no drama for that amount because I am a qualified professional. Ndikadero ndinenge ndazvidzikisa. So in the informal sector we also encourage kuti, you know what, once you are a brand wakuziva kuti rangu domasi chero mukariti rakadi atisi kutengesa nemari iyoyo ndizvo nai. Saka I was very impressed. I said, you know what, my sister, this is the way forward because you are in your business. Saka ndo zvatoda kuti tiite muma businesses edu, we know our value to say, you know what, this is what I do best and I am not going anywhere below that. So I was saying Women's University, saka ndoimbeu ye Women's University yamuri kutoona ipapo vakatomudzidzisa ane madegree muchimona chisvetuka kudaro ndizvo nai. Ngatimuombererei for what she just did. And then my sister here, I cannot say I am here because of I will call her Virginia because this is vangu ndizvo nai. Saka ndikaramba chingoti nhasi tiri kushedzana nemazita edu chaiwo because Women's Day ndizvo ana baba tomboti sendekei mbichana. So you know, she took us through so many things. She would continuously come to the university and teach us to know, semadzimai, you really need to realize your positions. And we are so glad that she has done very well. And now vatowe ku gender commission pakanaka sei papo kwete zvongotaura tiri kuseri kwemusha tiri kudzanyirwa. Right now we know kuti kana pane chinonetsa, we have a representative who has women at heart. She's a champion for women empowerment, a great leader, a woman of substance. Saka ngatiombererei Virginia as she comes to give us her speech. Thank you. Vakareba oseni maona kuti ndisisi wangu chaivo. So Viji, we welcome you.
This one I don't like. I'm not friends with this one. Yes. Discrimination has many different forms. And discrimination on the basis of height is the people who designed this thing. Something that you were trying to say about who should be speaking at meetings or at important gatherings. So I usually fight with this inanimate object but making a point. So, Sikufara Ero. Yes! Sikufara Ero. Kana takumboita zvekustreet mike inotikanganisa aunyatsoita natural. But anyway, usually I don't like to, I hate it when a statement like indaudzwa nhasi is made nemunhu ada kutaura. I usually hate it, but today I'll share it because it's important to why I'm here. Ndanga ndiri kumba kwangu ndichigadzirira kuti ndiende kubasa kwangu, ndikabva ndafonerwa zvikanzi kukumbira umuyi. Ndikafunga, apparently it happens to me a lot and I'm starting to worry because pese paunongobvuma pamwe unenge uchizvidzikisira. But because this is International Women's Day, chinhu chedu, because for me I was then thinking, if not me then who? And kana takuda kuitawo kuti zvekuchechi zvazvakarongwa naMwari kuti inini ndiri pano nhasi handiti panga pachifanira kunge pane ambassador, pachifanira kunge pane ambassador, paifanira kunge pane murungu, but ndiri pano handiti. So I just want to share with you, like Agnes has said, I'm the CEO of the Zimbabwe Gender Commission, and just a bit of background. I've been in the trenches, the women's rights. Handina kubata gidi rimwe gidi riya but ndakabata gidi women's rights, where I've worked in various organizations, from working with trade unions back in the 90s, working as a researcher, tikapedza tikabva ipapo tikanoshanda on poverty reduction, tikapedza tikanoshanda nemedia because I have a media background. My first qualification was journalism and communications. Tikapedza tikauya tikatarisa nyaya yeeconomy, women's rights and the economy. Tikapedza tikazoitirwa nyasha ndikanzi ndakuuya kuzoita CEO pagender commission inenge ichitarisa at a national level issues of gender. So I'm very happy to be here, but your faces are looking very sad. So, and in being a communications person, your bodies are what talk to me. It's not what your mouth say, but your bodies talk to me. And you're not looking happy. Are we happy with International Women's Day 2020? Yes. Are we happy with International Women's Day 2020? Yes. This is not to say there are no challenges. But what we know is, as women, even as we cry, even as we go through challenges, and it. So even as we worry about all the things that we are facing as women, it's important that we also exude positive energy. We also put out positive energy because despite things being very hard, one of the things that has not been said enough is that women work very hard. Women and girls work very hard, and the few boys work very hard. Until I get the statistics that tell me that the boys also work very hard. But as of now, women work very hard. What I'm going to do is I will read the speech of the Gender Commission, and then I'll speak a bit more to the issues of gender and corruption, which I know are the issues of concern to you. And now I'm going to struggle because, again, when they say people with disabilities, you always think that it's disabilities in another form, but there are different types of disabilities. Where if I take off these glasses, I'll see profiles of you. I won't be able to see you. But maybe don't mind me, your beautiful faces. Because if I'm wearing this, I can't read. So, Muchandi regerera, and Kumbira regerero. Muchandi understand now. So, 2020, International Women's Day 2020 is an important day, or was an important day. Because 2020 in the global calendar and then in our own calendar is a landmark year. But what I'll do is just read through the speech and then come back and do the motivation. So Zimbabwe Gender Commission is an independent constitutional body, one of 5 in Zimbabwe that were created by the constitution to be able to work with government, with private and public institutions to ensure democracy and human rights, to ensure the implementation of the constitution, to ensure that whatever rights violations that are there are actually redressed. There are about 6 objectives for the commissions, and I've learned over time not to name all of the commissions, but I'll just speak about our particular commission. So the historical importance of International Women's Day is that it is a day that world over we come together and focus on women. Not so much focus on gender, because there are some people that will say, but gender is about men and women. It's not just about women. It's like issue of racism. When you talked about racism, it would not make sense for you to say to a person who's benefiting from racism, to say, no, you are leaving us out when you just talk about your problems of racism. I don't know if what I'm saying is clear. But when we talk about gender, it may be about men and women, but it's about the issues of concern for the men and the women. And the one who's feeling the pinch is the one who speaks more. So if you've never understood why gender sounds like it's about women, it is because as of now, when we look at gender and social relations, women are not as well off as the men are. Even when you come to a situation where we are all vendors working in the streets and we think we are equal, we are not equal, because when people come there and they look at us, they will treat us differently based on whether you are a man or a woman. So it's very important that this day has been put aside every year to just commemorate women, to put focus on women. The disadvantage is that then people tend to think that it's only on the 8th of March that we should celebrate women. We should actually celebrate women all the time. And we continue to also assess progress all the time. But this day is the day, just like Father's Day, just like Mother's Day, just like all those other days, has been set aside. So this year, it's running under the theme, Generation Equality, Realizing Women's Rights. And then there's a hashtag, each is equal. Because we are saying, as we are talking about the issue of women's rights, we need to also recognize that equality is the goal. Gender equality is the goal. We can do whatever else we do, but what we are looking for, what is guiding us, is the issue of having gender equality in Zimbabwe and world over. And this year is the 25th anniversary of the Beijing Platform for Action. And today I'm not going to say much, but challenge each and every one of us to try and get a copy of the Beijing Platform for Action and read it for yourself. Why am I saying this? Because over the years, a lot has been said about Beijing. And sometimes what is said is not necessarily what is true. So it's important that we also acquaint ourselves with that platform for action, because what it was basically saying, what is it that was wrong in 1995 and needed to be fixed? And so the Beijing Platform for Action was adopted. So it is now 25 years. It's also the 10th anniversary of the creation of UN Women, which is our UN agency responsible for coordinating the women issues, the women and gender issues. And then it's also the 20th anniversary of the UN Convention on Peace and Security. And this is very important for this gathering, for the work that we do, because when we talk about peace and security, a lot of the times people think peace and security is only as we talk about war. But it's not just about war, because what we know from a gender perspective, even in times of so-called peace, the gender conflict is always raging. The conflict that faces women and girls in society is always raging, even when everybody else says it is okay. It is also the 50th anniversary of the Sustainable Development Goals, which are the most recent instrument that has been adopted internationally to address issues of human rights, but goal number 5 being on gender equality and women empowerment. And then it is also the 5th anniversary of the revised SADC protocol on gender and development. And I'm only mentioning these landmarks because 25 years since Beijing, we are still talking. 25 years since Beijing, we seem to have even gone back. And we need to understand why, and we need, as we go about our day-to-day work, to be able to say we need to be moving forward. We have moved forward, but sometimes what we see is we take 2 steps forward and then 5 steps back. And we need to just continue marching on. In terms of the examples of some of the issues I'm talking about, where we've had some gains, but we've also lost some gains. We find that, for example, if we go into our structures, our institutions, government ministries, departments and agencies, we still find members being appointed in a way that doesn't show us gender balance. Because these are the ones that will sit and talk about our issues. If we are talking about those boards that are being appointed in the economy sector, if they're going to just be made up of a certain sex and others are not there, it means as they sit to talk about the issues, they're not going to think of gender issues from a women's rights perspective. They're not going to necessarily think of education issues or the rights of children in school from a women's rights perspective, because they don't feel the tightness of the shoe as long as they are not wearing it. We also find that women continue to carry the unfair burden of failed policies. We have policies that we adopt as a country, and when they don't work, it means somebody is stepping in. And we find that if somebody is stepping in, they need to be recognized. But what we've seen is the women are not always recognized. When we talk about the economy of Zimbabwe, I haven't heard that anybody has ever tried to collate the contribution that the informal economy is doing to the economy of Zimbabwe. This is despite the fact that we know that at a time when the formal economy was not working or is not working, the informal economy is the one that is driving our economy. But when it comes to the policies, you won't find that being actually taken on board. And then when we look at the issue of gender-based violence, despite the Constitution being very clear in Section 52 about the need to ensure personal security and bodily integrity of all our people, we find that women, particularly women and girls, are still vulnerable to all forms of violence, including sexual harassment, gender-based violence, and what I've come to know through our friends at Transparency, sextortion. So, and the fact that despite violence being something that should be criminalized, a lot of the sexual harassment or the sextortion that happens on the street is not necessarily criminalized. It's just taken as bad attitude, bad behavior, but it's left without being addressed. And as a result, you find it continues, because as long as there are no deterrent mechanisms, it will continue to happen. As long as people, we don't really stand up and say this is not right, it will continue to happen. Despite 52% of our people being women and girls, we find that we are not necessarily thinking of them always as we talk about the slogans of leaving no one behind. Because we are still crying, the women are out there, even while others are sitting and deciding how we are going to deal with the shortage of energy. We are going to switch off energy for 18 hours. When the energy is switched off for 18 hours, who has to wake up when others are sleeping to then start working when the energy is back? And now we have a campaign with coronavirus to wash our hands. And at some point when we had the cholera outbreak, I remember reading somewhere that cholera was because women were being very dirty. They were not being hygienic enough. But if the water is not coming out of the tap, you can be very hygienic in your mind. It will not happen. So it's important that we also get what we need as people, as women, to be able to do our part. And then the right to life, which is guaranteed in our constitution. We are starting to see that now we are losing that right, because women are dying when they are supposed to be giving birth. One of my commissioners just posted on our group this morning that a child has died to go to Marondera Hospital. And she says it's because of alleged negligence. So right to life is not being realized, yet we are supposed to actually be getting that as per the Constitution. And we find that there are a lot of violations of women's rights coming from our culture, or people who say culture, but it's not our culture, to violate those that are ours. Those people that are part of our community, part of our families. But we find that this is happening. So as Zimbabwe is joining the world in commemorating International Women's Day, the Commission would like to encourage implementation of the Constitution towards gender equality and women empowerment. As duty bearers in the private and public institutions assess financial costs of gender equality, it is important for them to acknowledge the cost of gender inequality. And I'm going to now speak specifically to the issue of gender and corruption, and say that we find that people have stepped up to be able to also address the gaps that have been left by policy failures. But having done that, you then find that the environment in which they are working is also not conducive. Urikutengesa madomasi. Uri pa street, urikuswera uchibhanya during the day. You would prefer not to be running, but you have no choice. But urukumanyiswa uchinzise urikutengesa madomasi, yet you have no choice, because the children have to eat, the family has to eat. You try and do cross-border trade, you then find that as you cross, there are all sorts of things that are being put ahead of you to stop you, or at least to stop you getting to where you want to get as far as wealth creation is concerned. And corruption actually also is one of the issues that really affects us, because corruption happens in a hidden way, although sometimes it's not as hidden, but most of the times it happens in a hidden way. And while we have a lot of focus on the corruption that involves the abuse of authority in how you actually use money or resources allocated to you, not enough is being said about the corruption where people, women and girls are being forced to exchange their bodies to be able to either get what should be their right if you're going to try and get a license for the work that you do. Or if you find yourself in trouble and then you are being told that, no, if you do this for me, then this issue will go away. Or as we remember Matawire saying, you are qualified to be in a job. You have read the job description, the requirements, and you totally have it. But once you get there, somebody says, Tanga Wandida. Or in our schools, for the young ones, you are very brainy, you read, you work hard, you follow when the teachers are teaching you, when the lecturers are teaching you. But you are then told at some point that as long as ukasandida wewe wakapasa. And then what is very bad is there is that issue of you are disturbing wanavedu. Instead of concentrating on being at school and what they came to school for, they start to concentrate on things they shouldn't be concentrating on. And then from also an economy perspective and also a productivity perspective, you may then find that maybe some of those that don't even work hard, or those that were working hard will decide not to work hard, because you know that you can just negotiate and you get yourself through school and you have very glowing marks, yet you were not working hard. And when you then come into, let's say, for example, the Gender Commission, we know all of you and say we are committed to working together to remove the scourge of. It's the reason why you find that others struggling on the street. We need to be able to get to a point to corruption. And corruption, why our women are dying. When we not go to that, it creates a problem where we find the school to be vulnerable to corruption.
Thank you, Zakupe Muanugwa. I am Chafinda Karikangano, my sister. Let's give her a very powerful round of applause. Azwaranasi Rakatikoshera. How many feel like it's very important to be a woman right now? But right now. Like right now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, right now we are also live streaming. We've got SlyMedia who are also promoting this whole event on their Facebook page and also their Transparency International Facebook page. So whatever we are doing, let's be very aware. Kuti tirikuonekwa kunze uku. Tibuditse mudzimai chai aruda kuonekwa naye. That's a young woman of substance. And as we are here as well, I want to welcome my sister, Miss Timire Vauya. Munoza vari kumhanya muchivaona vakadai musikana uyu agare pasi. Kwavari kubva kumwewo, asi she has given the time to come and also join us and celebrate as women. So we want all the women to be represented. As you see, that nhasi ndine mixed bag, hapana asara, ndizvo nai. Tese tiripo, ma MD, ma MC, vanenge inini pano vanhu chaivo, we are here. And my sisters in the informal sector, vamwe vatobva kuEpworth, vamwe kupi. So we are all here and we want to make this day very special. But we want to acknowledge at this present moment our director. What I'm just going to do is I'm going to let Sandile here, advise me, kuti panapa zvese zvaitika. It's because of our partners who are very dear to us, Isusu Informal Traders Empowerment Association, TIZ. So let me take this opportunity to also welcome our director from TIZ, Miss Muchaneta Mundopa. Sorry, hey, munoziva vamwe vakaenda ku Snake Park. Saka marai kuti nyaya dzecorruption dzataurwa panapa dzionekwe kunzi dzinosvika kuvakuru. Thank you. Mentioned, I will say Virginia because she's very dear to me and she's my sister, like I said. Saka kumba tinongoshedzana nemazita edu aya. But our CEO, well respected, a woman who has done so much. I think she gave a background. When she was going on about the constitution, really getting us involved so that we can have a say. But the key things that she said today was action. Beijing platform of action. We as women are lagging behind very key issues. And she also mentioned about the cost of gender inequalities. Honestly, we talk about corruption, we talk about the people who are making decisions for us, for women, the budgets that are being made when we women are not represented in the budgets. That's why we find the bigger men who are buying my V8 because there are no women who are saying no, before we buy these cars, let's secure medication for our children. Let's make sure that the women who are giving birth are going to have what is needed in those hospitals. Our education sector, she mentioned, where are we? We're talking of the SDG. We are in 2020 and we are supposed to be saying now we can see crystal clear kuti we have made achievements, but it looks like we are going back. Saka, I think it is us women who are sitting back, tiri in our private sphere, takangogara kumba chingoti, vedu vetu nomuka chingodai. We now need to be out there. And it's good that we have generation equality. Ndimi vatiri kutoti, imimi, the leaders who are here, we want to see the change. So we are positive agents of change. We, the women who are in this house today. The last thing to mention, and I'm going to put our director on spot because she didn't know that she was going to say something today. Asi zvinhu zvamwari tina madzimai ndofunga vari kunamata stereki noti zvinhu zviri kuitika ndezvemweya saka zviite kuti munoza vana vataure pamba mai vasati vataura ndizvonai. So we are also going to call our director to just also bless this occasion. And at this point, I'll take the opportunity to call her and maybe share just a few words so that tunotamba takasununguka. So let's just give her a round of applause as she comes.
Thank you very much, and good morning to you once again. Indeed, I was not expecting to say anything this morning. Ndangoyozoona support for International Women's Day. But nevertheless, we do thank you for taking the time out to come and commemorate with us. But not just commemorate, but it's also time for us to sit back, reflect, and map how we can deal with issues of gendered corruption, especially sextortion. I like what the previous speaker said. Much focus has been placed on grant corruption. What about sextortion? What about the impact of that grant corruption when it comes to issues of service delivery and women? So as we commemorate today, I just want us also to map the way forward. I usually say I don't like talk shows where people just come and gather and we talk without mapping up solutions. We are honored that the Gender Commission CEO is here. She can also push some of the recommendations and strategies forward on our behalf. So with those few words, I hope we'll engage in meaningful discussions and tackle gendered corruption as we move forward. Thank you.
Mashoko makukutu ndizvonai hanzi action. I love it when we meet in such a forum where we have women of action. And action haidi vanhu vakawanda, you know, for things to happen. I always say we don't need vanhu vakawanda. We want people who are dedicated, people who see where they want to go. If it's the three of us and we say we want to change this discourse, we will do it. We went to city of Harare. I really, like the issues around women. Parakati, we are announcing 24-hour shutdown of water, not even 24-hour, an immediate shutdown of water because atinama chemicals. And we took it upon ourselves to go to the city of Harare and ask them, Tekati, do you realize that it is a man who's making this announcement, but he gets home, sadza rakapikwa, sheti yake yakawachwa yakaainwa, arikumuka mangwana achigeza achenda kubasa akachena. But you are saying this to us women. Apa we have issues to deal with. Zesa is actually available when it feels like. So now we are having to deal with water issues and then electricity. And we are saying, where is the right? Water is a right for us. So you can't just wake up and say you shut down and you don't tell us when are you going to expect it to come back and you expect us to shut up. So we went and we said, takusiyama buckets edu panapa. Kana mazochera mvura mauya nayo kudzimba dzedu ndopatichazobvisa. Tisati tatoshedza media chiona izvokuita kuti mvura iyi ive available. And you know what they said? They said, hey, it's not us, go to Harare Water. We went to Harare Water. We said, Harare Water, what does it mean? Where is the director? Taitaura tiri mulift director varipo chitikunoona. Yeah, we're going to see him. And the director immediately was not available. And the secretary was holding like, director vaipo was saying, vauya ku office kwenyu vakadzara. So those are the women that we want, women of action, women who are going to not wait and see things just pass them by. And that's the generation that we also want. A generation that is going to say, we are going to take our place as women. musavhota kuti tikuda kuti John aite prefect wedu aite, when you are not appointing yourself. Do you hear where we are coming? Atisi kuda kuti tiri kuda kuti vamungana vatitungamirire. Toda kuti iwewe mai John amoti inini ndini ndoda kutungamirira. Ndizvona. So many times we get into these and women are given the opportunity to say, who do you want to lead you? Tototarisa nei toti same, just a same, anendevu. And attitude same. You understand? Instead of boldly raising your hand up and saying, I want to be that woman. But today I'm happy that we have those women. And before I even introduce, or as I introduce them, I want Muchaneta to come as our panel is getting ready to just give us one. Too serious, because we should remind ourselves that today we are celebrating Women's Day. So she's going to give us something before we introduce the panelists, and I'm ready for action. And let's just be merry. Yes, she comes.
Check it.
DJ.
Muchaneta, ladies and gentlemen, my sister Kesia, let's give her another round of applause. So much energy for women. Ipapa pandikakudzai kuti aneka baby. Maona masvetukira angachita, but yeah. So it shows that women are indeed talented and they are able to really, show. Maona chibvunzo tanzi sangu randiremera, ndaona nejive yacho, it's just showing kutaiwa. Tinobudirira asi because we are together and together we will get somewhere. So at this juncture, I will actually let the panelists say their names properly and introduce themselves. I will start from here. We've got my sister Murungona Garments. Please do get up. Mazibaba ne mazimai muri ko ere uko. Apana zvisinga dimwe nai. Saka I will let my sister here introduce herself.
Mufaro kwa muri. Zita ndinoitwa madzimai Nyaradzo kana kuti Nyaradzo Musokeri, Mrs. Okay. Ndinoitwa Nyaradzo Musokeri. Chirungu chakanyorwa pechi. Pane vambotaura ma'am, vambotaura mai muwanikwa. Vataura kuti handizvo ndinaudzwa program nhasi. Inhangu handina kuudzwa nhasi, but chirungu chacho chandinofanira kutaura ndachiverenga izvezvi. Hanzi Apostolic Sector and Informal Traders Church. Saka tinovimba kuti patinge tichitaura tichibatsirana handiti. Vaita zvenyu.
Muticha paswa kwandiri. Shinga mshandi shinga. Shinga mshandi shinga. Ini ndinonzi Aileen Erina Nyanga. Ndinoitawo zve-informal trading. Ndakamirira ma-vendors. Tiri nema-home industries. Saka zvese zviri kunetsa izvi zve-corruption zvazvichitaurwa shuwa zvakanyanya kunangana nesu nokuti isu ndisu backbone yeekonomi yenyika, asi hatina zvokushandisa. Tiri crippled. Saka tinenge tichibatsirana kuti CEO vagotakura vainde nazvo. Kuti taakuda equipment kudarika mari dzamuri kunyanya kumhanya nadzo idzi. Dzamuri kutichaja mazakati rakawandisa. Tatenda.
Thank you so much. Manzwa akave informal. Tangoti zvizivisei. But because they are burning issues, vavaviwa vakati no. Pamwe CEO vanosumuka ndisati ndataura uchenjeri. Did you see wisdom? Even if maybe she then says, it's not very important, I have to go, but she has had the critical issues. So that's Mainyanga. This woman, I think I have worked with her for so many years. Saka, it's a pleasure to have her here. And I will let the next one.
Good morning, everyone. Dinoitwa Tadiwa Gwanzura. I am a former junior councillor and I am representing the young generation equality. Thank you.
Mangwana Naka, good morning to you everyone. Ndinoitwa Rudo Boka. I am a mother, I am a businesswoman with special interest in agriculture, and I am an advocate of women's financial independence. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mama, murukunzwa kuti beg racho rakasangana. And let me just say, we have great pleasure in having Rudo here at such a point in time where our economy is where it is, because we are talking agriculture. Kuti we are an agro-based economy. Where is the agro sector going? Where is the communal farmer Why are we not also including them? Isusu veku informal traders empowerment trust, we have gone down to the grassroots to say, how do we address these gender issues? How do we address poverty? Why is it our people vari kudzinganiswa muma streets, and we found that these people are actually selling agricultural products? Why can't we partner them with the off-takers? Why can't we say the big players in the agro sector, Anarudo, then they should come team up with us and tell us, this is what we want you to grow. So that atirame chungori mamadoma siteze tiri 5,000 panora esa novaora. So we want now to be understanding more, and it's a pleasure that she's here. She's also going to, discuss with us what she's doing and how she also intends to empower women, because empowerment is what we are talking about today. Thank you so much. So my next guest here.
Wow. Yeah, she makes me laugh. I was not going to introduce myself as an honorable. My name is Timire. I work with the women and girls with disability in Zimbabwe, but also representing persons with disability in Parliament, which means now I'm representing everyone, men and women. Yeah, that's who I am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Inclusion, isn't it good? Nokuti hapana noti ayo msuyo yapataka celebrate makati siyawo ndizvonai. And it's actually a good opportunity that we have all these influential women with us today, and discussing such issues on Women's Day, where we are really saying we need to accelerate the position of women. We need to accelerate the pace, where we are saying equality, where is it? But we are happy that we are joined here by the Honorable. The last time we had one of our honorables, and she was saying, the disturbing issue is when we call out for meetings, there is no one who comes. So all these issues, we don't even know about them. We were talking about gender sensitive budgeting, and she was saying we don't even understand some of these things. Saka it's at such occasions where we want you to really highlight your issues that are very fundamental to you. And at this juncture, we will now get to our panelists. Nyaya dzatiruda kutaura ndidzodzi tatizvo hashtag I am generation equality ndizvonai. So issues around equality, that is what we really want to start going through them deeper. How we came up with the panel is we actually wanted to have more representation, looking at women from the religious side, the cultural side, the business side, how even, from the social side, are we affected as women? Are we really gaining the equality that we really deserve? Are we in those positions? Is there anything that is happening that is going to accelerate the position of women? So I will start off with vemweya nokuti tikasatungamidza zvamwari tinozodzoserwa kumashure. Saka it's just, we want us to be casual. Toda kuti titaure zviri pasi pemwoyo yedu ndokuti zvigonyatsokuadresswa, because sometimes, when we want to speak what needs to be heard, kind of what we think is very good, it sometimes doesn't help, because tese tinenge tine zvatakadzidziswa kuti 1 + 1 = 2, but iwe kana uchifunga kuti is equals to 3, unofanira kutaura kuti nini kusvikira waonewo wabhabhatidzwa wakuonawo 2 iri kuonekwa nevamwe, ndizvonai. Saka ndo zvatoda kuita muzuva ranhasi. We want to ask Nyari kuti ndivo madzimai, zvinonzi mudzimai ari pasi pemurume, izvi takazvinzwa kumasvondo nekumwe kwese nai. So we want to hear kuti what does she feel kuti are the inequalities that religion really poses for women from a religious perspective. What are the inequalities? If there are none, madzimai tibhabhatidzei nesu tizvionawo tiwo there are none, ndizvonai. Because sometimes we need to be converted rather than converting you. So we just want to hear from you, Nyaradzo. What are the inequalities that you feel religion is bringing kwatiri madzimai, which hinder equality?
Maita zvenyu. Mubvunzo wabvunzwa wakanaka. Handiti tese tinofila kuti pane patinobatirirwa mukurarama kwedu. Whether kuchitendero, whether kumabusiness, whether kuumba chaiko. Saka chero munhu paunenge uri pane kumanikidzika kunoitika. Asi mubvunzo uyu ndanga kunonzi kugoogle handiti vane chikoro. Ndambogoogle. And what do Christians mean by gender equality? What's the inequality? And what do Christians mean by gender equality? And the gender equality, as you know, the belief that all genders should be able to enjoy the same rights and opportunities in all aspects of their lives. And the Christian roles of men and women differ by denomination. Zvirikunzwisisika. Zvirikutaura izvo kuti hanzizvo nepanonzi gender equality ka munhu wese whether taenda muchechi mubuilding yedu, whether tiri pasi pemuti, whether tiri mumvura chero patiri, vanhu tofanira kunge takaenzana takaenderana. Asi nyaya iyi tikada kuitanga kuitarisa nhasi muna 2020 tinogona kurasika zvishoma. Vanhu vese vari panapa according kune zvinotaurwa muZimbabwe zvinonzi 85% yevanhu vemuZimbabwe vanonamata. Ichokwadi here. Toda kuti tibatsirane ina nakuzotaura tauya kuzodzidzisana nekuonesana nekushare. Pane vanhu vari panapa pane vasingaende kuchechi here, chero chechi. Pane vanoenda kuchechi here, chingosimudzai maoko tione kuti tiri kutaura nyaya yakafanana here. Alright. Vanhu vese vasimudza maoko kunze kwavakabata makamera. Saka tiri kufungidzira kuti vakabata makamera kuti vanoenda kuchechi handiti. Chinzwai munzwe zvandakanzwa inini nezvandakaverenga. MuBhayibheri mune mazita evanhu 1863 vanochikoro nyorai ndimi makaenda chikoro ka 1863 mazita evanhu vari muBhayibheri rese kubva kuna Genesis kusvika kuna Revelations. 1770 varume. Tikuonesana 1770 vanhu vapi varume. Avazi vane muZimbabwe totaura vanhu vari muBhayibheri. 93 vakadzi. Zvakaenzana kaizvo. Zvakaenzana kaya nditi. Saka already there is inequality kubvira kwazvakatangira. Tinotaura kuti pavanhu 1863 93 vakadzi. And pa 93 vakadzi vavo ka 49 ndivo vakanyorwa mazita anozikanwa. Zvakamira kudaro muBhayibheri mawedzi arimo anonzi anosvika kana 1.2 million. Kubvira pakanzi in the beginning kuna Genesis kusvika kwakanzi amen kuna zvakazarurwa i 1.1 million. Asi mawedzi arimo akataurwa nevakadzi they just cover 1.1%. Ndadzidziswa mastatistics namai vedu vekujenda. Saka 1.1% zvinhu zviri muBhayibheri. Munhu wese anobata Bhayibheri achienda kuchechi every day. Munhu wese anobata Bhayibheri handiti. Asi izvozvo ndo zviri muBhayibheri. Ana muchaneta hanzi vachakuitirai drama. Ndo zvinozikanwa vakadzi muBhayibheri. Mabasa akaitwa nevakadzi ndo anozikanwa. Zvataitaura sevakadzi zvishomanana. Mukadzi anotonzi akataura mazuva akawanda hapfuure 159 akarekodwa muBhayibheri. Saka already inequality yo inogona kunge iriko. Pakunamata kwatinoita tese tiri vana vaAbrahama, Isaka naYakobo. Handiti ndo mapatriarchs edu. Ndosaka ndichiona kuti Islam munhu anotadza kuIslam ari mukadzi nemurume vaita upombwe. Anorohwa mukadzi. Anotemwa nemabwe mukadzi. Inini ndingaita upombwe ndega. Ngationesaneka. Handiti tikutaura nyaya iyi hanzi I say no to gender corruption. Hapana corruption inopfuura pakuti inini ndatadza newewewe. Asi iwewe wonziwa una kutadza inini ndindatadza. Already hapana nyaya yemari iri kuitika. Inyaya situation yezvinhu zvaitika. Kune vanoverenga maBhayibheri ndosaka makanzwa kuti Jesu akaunzirwa chipfevi. Zvikanzi amai ava vapomba. Zvikana Jesu hazvina kuipa. Saka mamati toita sei zvanzi ngavatakwe nemabwe. Zvikanzi mhinduro yenyu yakanaka. Anoziva kuti haana kutadza ngaatange. Amai vai vakazotakwa nevanhu vangani? Saka it simply mean kuti for us as women kuti tibudirire munyaya dzekunamata, munyaya dzekushanda, sekutaura kwazvamboitwa nemunhu atanga kutaura, we need vanhu vechirume ana Sem vanga vachitaurwa. Sem ndamufarira kane Zuda bva tatiti madzibaba. Ana madzibaba Sem ndo vatinenge tichida kuti vatimiririre, handiti? Because in as much as we as women want kutaura zvimwe zvinhu, tichida kuita zvimwe zvinhu takazvimiririra, zvinongonzi zvanamai hamuzvizive, zvevakadzi hamuzvizive. Saka inini zvandoda kutaura zvinambonyanyowanda. Muworld mese mune mareligions 4200 world yese. Vamwe vanonamata Mwari, vamwe vanoti ndevekwa Allah, vamwe vanonamata musika vanhu, vamwe vane mazita akasiyana siyana. Asi nyaripo ndekuti tine 4200 religions muworld. MuZimbabwe munomu apostolic sect vanopfeka zvichena izvi vanoikwa baba aJohani i37.5% muZimbabwe. 4% anoona JV yanga ichitambwa yana chiwezhe yanga ichitambwa yaya. 4% ndo vanoita zveATR, African tradition. Vanotokudza kuti mati mwana abuda mututu, aiwa inini mushonga wacho ndoziva ndinokuchererai, i4%. Handiti 10.5% yevanhu vemuZimbabwe ndo vasinganamati. Vanozviti inini hangu ndozvinamatira ndega, kudenga kwacho ndozokuona ndasvikako. Saka as you can see muZimbabwe munomu zvinoreva kuti tiri vanhu vanonamata, tiri vanhu vane mabeliefs avainavo. Asi tikada kutarisa munyika munomu, include kubva muBible, zvinhu zvese zviri notable, zvinhu zvese zvaibatika zvaitwa nemadzimai. Sandizvo here? It's unfortunate kuti zvinoitwa ngezvakaipa ndo zvaibva zvanyanyoyeukwa. Eva akati gatidye, dei Adam akati idya wega. Handiti? Asi zvinokonzi Eva akaipa fani, achibva ati vanhu idyai, saka mukadzi uyu akaipa, saka pamwe ndosaka vakadzi tiri 93 chete muBible. Hamfunge kudaro. And then mukurarama kwedu kwatinoita vanhu tichinamata saizvozvi, tiumbure kuti tionesane. Gender inequality, pane chechi yekuti ikatonzi chechi ndeyamuchaneta, tomboti muZimbabwe hapana chechi irimo, muchaneta bvanzi atanga chechi, sinzai maoko vachati vachanonamata uchechi kwake, yaanenge atanga vachinzi prophetess. Hatiti maona timese mafara pasimudza wani baba warapa vanhu vanenge vari mudhikoni ko hapana vamwe. Saka nekuti tati chechi ndeyemukadzi yasimudzirwa nemunhu wani, vakadzi vari muno muti akawanda. Muri kuzviona? Ndo paipai pakapachitaurwa naamai vambotaura vaya zvikanzi muZimbabwe muno 52% vakadzi. Asi zvinhu zvine chekuti kuti vakadzi tisimudzirane pachedu hapana. Oraiti zvikanzi madzimai muchaneta, toboti zvaprofetess chirungu chatikona, madzimai muchaneta, muprofita chaiye chaiye, vanhu vada nobatsirwa navo ngatisimudze maoko. Handiti mukuona munotofunga panotoda madzibaba ani kwava, madzibaba evanoona, mati madzibaba Sem aiwa vanoona, handei ini ndakatovanzwa apa nepa usatoona, asi noti madzimai muchaneta munhu woramba. Saka kuzvidzvanyirira gender inequality mukunamata kwedu, kana gender inequality kuna ana Rudo ava mabusiness woman, gender inequality kuna vezveutano, gender inequality handiti manzwa mahonorable vedu vari panapa ava. Gender inequality tisu tinosvikonzeresera tega vanhu vakadzi, tisu tega tinozvikonzeresera. Muri kuona chinhu chinonzi Women's Day, it's unfortunate kuti chinoitwa musi 1. Zvinonzi hazvizikanwa kuti akafunga kuti Women's Day iyi itangwe ndiani. Ndambozvigugura apa, hanzi zvona hapana organization inonzi ndimi makaita zvenyu kuti Women's Day inge iripo, handiti? But sevanhu vakadzi zvimwe zvinhu tofanira kubatsirana, because when we talk about religion we cannot do away in a social life, we cannot do away in a business. Because mukadzi anonzi anga akachangamuka, pane mukadzi wana kanzi akangwara mbebere, makambobunzwa wakuna zvirevo i1. Asi makadzi mabasa ainzi anoita, anofanira kupa vasikana vake basa zvekuitawo, navakomana vebasa vapiwa zvekuitawo, obva vafidha hama dzese dzanga dzashanya, obva ambotaura nevana, ombotaura nababa, obva vabikira, iye obva anogeza, obva yamisa. Munhu 1. Saka, we cannot separate religion from our social life, from our cultural life, from kushanda chaiko. Because baba tikada kukompera manotsi madzibaba same ini pandauya ndatombobva ndataura naDhaniero ndikatozoudza dhedhi kuti ndamhanya kuchirungu kwandakakokwa anditi ndichibva ndati nhaimore inozosara uchipakura chikafu chandabika ndanga ndatomukira kuenda kunochera mvura inini bva ndasiya ndatsvaira panze ndakutobuda zvikanziko nhamira apa mainzore ndakanobata nezuro maoko manheru ndosaka vhesi rakaenda katanga tichiimba samai asi madzibaba vangu vanga vasikwa zvavo ndini ndaiveko. Saka muriona mabasa anoitwa nemunhu mukadzi akawandisa. Saka it's not about religion, it's not about culture, it's not about business, it's about kuve amai uri mukadzi. Because kana utarisa kumachechi vane chikoro ndimunoverenga indatoti hanzi ndataura ini toda kushare and we should learn to share. Saka share information. Vana vechikoro macases mangana makambonzwa imini amai mutungamiri wekuchechi kunge madzimai muchaneta vakarepa madzibaba semu mangana munoziva vana vechikoro avapo mainzwa ko macases mangana makanzwa apasta stem vakarepa sister muchaneta saka munongati amasemu murisinganzwa murizvoonaka. Saka murikuona that's inequality pachezvazvo. Vanhu in as much as we say kuti vanhu kunamata, vanhu kana chinamata ngatiregedze kusanganisa nyaya yaMwari necorruption. Pane kamwe kachirungu kandiri kutsvaga kanga kachitaura zvecorruption. And say no to gendered corruption. Women ngatimuzvimirirei muchechi ukanzwa kuti mukadzi abatirirwa mumirirei maita zvenyu.
Thank you so much, my sister there, highlighting the inequalities that surround the religious. Hands, we cannot exclude the social, even the cultural. Hands, as she's here, she's stated all that she has done, the roles of women, how they continuously put us back. And and it doesn't make it any easier when you live in Zimbabwe with the present situation yatiri. So at this point, I will also pose a question to Mainyanga from the informal sector, Timbon's war business side. Kuti ma inequalities api avari kufesa. Muri mu board re-association here mama, muri kutonga here kwamuri koko. Kochi chiri kumboitika kwamuri. So ndifunga kuti Mainyanga vanotora nguva yakareba sterek because vambozvitaura nai. But we will pose the same question to her and give her this opportunity to just explain the inequalities that she also faces around the informal sector.
Maita zvenyu pachipamwe because pachipamwe nyaya yabvunzwa inyaya yakanaka fani zvikuru sei kuinformal sector kweduku patiri pese sezvataurwa zviya zvokuti tinomhanyira kusimudzira maoko kuti vanhurume ngavati lead hongu mubhaibheri chero Jesu haana kunzi munhukadzi saka maybe pfungwa dzedu tichingomhanya kuti tinovhotera vanhurume asi nyaya iripo ndeyekuti zvese vanhurume vacho vese vari pasi pepetcourt government hapana asiri pasi pepetcourt government because isu madzimai ndisu backbone reeconomy. Chese chatiri kuita chiri kubva nomuruoko rwaamai, chese chatabata chiri kubva nomuruoko rwaamai. Chiri kutirwadza ndechokuti ndikaburisa madomasi angu izvozvi ndikaisa panzi kuti nditengese, ndabva kumunda kunorima ndouya ndoisa padhoo pangu kuti nditengese, kanzuro inouya inoda $40 kuti uri kutengesa madomasi papapa, tipe mari. Kuimogoda mari yeiko? Inini ndindashanda ndinofanira kuwana mari wadzi. Hamuna kana sendi kana 25% yaya tinofanira kupiwa inobva pakubhadhara kwatinoita maredzi. Hamutipi. isu mavhendors tiri kutosafa more kudarika vamwe vanhu vese. Vanhu vacho vese ivavo vari kubva mumavoko emavhenda. Zviri kunyanya kutirwadza, chitipei nzvimbo dzokushandira. Hamusiri kutipa nzvimbo dzakarurama dzokushandira. Pandiri ipapo ndigadzirirei ndiite kuti ndishande zvakarurama ndisinawo zuva. Munhu akaudzwa kunzi madomasi anowanikwa pei, nomunhu wese andanoenda kumbare kunotenga madomasi kumusika achihodha. Konotadza nei kuti pakaitwa central place yokuti patengesewe, munhu auya achitenga ipapo kana zviri zvinhu zvine order zvisina corruption dziri kuitika dzokuti ndongokupa kuti achibata apa iwewe ndirisiya nditengese ndiri pano. Ngatiwanei kuti tipiwe zvinhu zvedu. Kana kuri kurima ngandipiwe equipment, kwete kuti ndipiwe kunzi chikwereti. Mai mwana ndapiwa chikwereti, mangwana munonditeverera within 2 weeks matova kutondirova mainterest mumapercentage. Ndee ndari manguvai ngandipiwe grace period yokuti ndikarima ndoitawo 3 months 4 months ndisati ndatevererwa chikwereti. Ende tisingarohwe kupondora. Kupondora kwamuri kutiita mapercentage kuya isu mavhendors ndokuri kuita kuti rabe tichingodzokorora. Ndatenga mapatapata, uyu watengawo mapatapata nokuti ndo ari kufamba raini rese tine mapatapata. Hapana anoita kuti tine production yakasimukira. Tinongoteedzerana nokuti ndo zviri kufamba. Itai kuti musati ponda. Munoona tichinyatsosumuka nokusumudza ikonomi zvakanaka. Honorable, zvobadi ndafara. Ndichikuona ndine shungu zvikuru. Apa maderi vanhu vari kutidaro mumakanzuro acho iwayo. Vapedza kutidaro vana vedu vechikoro vanodzingwa. Ndichanobhadhara fees yemwana watoruza lesson. Mwana wangu ratova dofo wakuteverawo mubereki kuti aswere ari mustreet achitengesa seni. Idodowo munhu anonditakura nendege. Ndichiendawo kunzvimbo dzakasiyana ikoko. Kana kuenda kubva mutare kubuda Bhurowa handikuzivi asi ndiri muno muZimbabwe. Handisati ndambofamba kwese. Pamusaka pekunyanya kudzikirirana kwatiri kuita ikoko. Mari kana ari munhu anorima pamunda. Kudhara wainzi 5 years kune vaya vakanga vari pomoti varungu vakanaka sitereki nhema. Vakava vachipiwa nguva yakareba yokuti vagozowana kudzosera. Inesu tinobva tatora zviya takudzvanyira kuti mwana wanikoyo aiwa unozondipei, which is very wrong. Godo ratiri kuita ndo riri kutiurayisa. Hatina rudo. Ngatitei rudo. Munoona zvinhu zvedu zvese zvichifamba. Tikaita rudo hanimbozoswera kuti wakaresva kuzora ponzi yake chidhuku chakasungwa nambuya ava hachiti havasi kuona here kuti havasi kuchaja vakasara. Kundadii chitibatsira kana wada kuti ndichaje handina kusara. Chinditi uya nesipo yacho ndiwachi. Wogozwa kuti mbuya vaya vane nungo dzokuwacha. Ukauya naye ndinowacha. Saka ngatibatsiranei pakuti informal sector yedu mavhendors aya tiwane kusimudza economy, because kana tikanyatsowana zvinhu nenzira kwayo misoro yese apa hapana munhu asingaiti vending. One way or another muri pamafoni muri kutengesa ndine chakati that's vending. Saka ngatipiwei mukana wokuti tinyatsoisa kubhadhara kwatinoita zvikwereti kune ava vanenge vawana mukana. Otherwise hauwani mukana wechikwereti. Nzvimbo dzekutengesera dzacho kudhara tainzi anemba ndiye anowana nzvimbo. Ine inotazara kana vana vedu vese vakura vari kungotevera informal sector. Honorable, zviri kurwadza. Muri kunyatsorwadza nekukwira kuri kuita zvinhu pakutengesa kana ingava fuel kana chi. Ndo zvinonzi kwendingadi vamwe vari kungotambira zvavasina kurima ndo vanongokohwa vachidya madiro. Ngativonei kuti vanhu ivavo zvikuru sei captains of industry sadza riri kurimwa ngariuye muvanhu nemari dzakanaka kwete zvatiri kuitirwa. Honorable, isu mavhendors acho instead yokuchitengesa takukavirana zvinhu kure tichimhanyira makiu echikafu, which is very wrong. Kuchikafu ngakuende kune vari kurima, women in business vari kurima vesa ngavapiwe maperiods okurima vasati vabatirwa mainterest, ende mapercentages edu emainterest akadzikira. Munoona zvese zvichitiitira. Ndatenda.
Thank you so much, Mai Nyanga. Very critical issues that she raised, issues around workspace, and another important issue around financial inclusion. Kuti even zvikwereti zvatiri kupiwa musakurumidza kuda kudzora mari dzacho tisati taita profit. And also a very important aspect that she raised, to say let's revert from giving the loans in cash form. Let's say what is it that you need. Uri kunida equipment, ndrukuda equipment yekuti huchi wangu huprocesswe hugozopackagwa. That is what you should start financing. So we want, it's unfortunate we don't have those in the financial sector. It would, I think, on another note, we'll invite them to say the kind of credit that you are giving, especially to the informal sector. Hakuna collateral, hakuna jiriko. Saka we want to then transform to come up with products that are going to address the needs that we hear that are very critical from this end. So I'm going to cool off things a bit and go to our junior councillor, because nangandichati Rudo hato taivira ipo pacho pataurwa pe munoza pe agriculture nei, but ndaona kuti if the business mindset ikaenda vamwe vese vanga kutotanga kutofunga kuti neni ku business kwangu. Honorable ndotovaudza. So honorable, before you forget, we will dilute it a bit and bring in our ex-junior councillor to give us also an experience from a young perspective, because my issue has always been to say, you know, it's nice to see all these councillors variable, but patinozoverenga makansela acho ariku atori pa ground chaipo we don't find a lot of women in council, and yet you know, we are breeding these junior councillors to go forward with their mission, so that next time kana takuta goma councillors tinoti uya ndiyanga ari kuchikoro chiya akazoramba chimboti tiri kuramba tichivaona. Now we are cultivating councillors who have a mind of progress and development. So let's hear from our junior councillor Tariu.
Thank you. Ndanganda Bunzonzi, do you feel there are equal opportunities for young female leaders? As students, kuchikoro tinoudzwa kunzi we're not supposed to be absolute in our answer. So I'm going to say, yes, I do feel as if there are equal opportunities. I would just like to firstly ask if you guys would applaud the junior councillors for the office 2019 to 2020. Can you please clap hands for them? And I'll tell you why. Because these junior council, I think it was founded in the 1950s. And before independence, it was only a male organization for male students only. No females were allowed, nothing like that. It became intergendered after independence, around the 1990s, 1980s. And only a few girls were allowed because they were intimidated by their male counterparts. And even recently, 2017, 2015, 2018, there hadn't been a female mayor in the junior council. But this council did something amazing, and it had their first female mayor, her worship, Laura Farirai. That's actually a very great achievement. It shows that this incoming generation, we are open to gender equality. We see things differently, and we are very much for change. However, there are opportunities that are more favorable to the males in young leadership. Things become hard for females. I'll give an example. When I was a prospective junior councillor, we were told to go and market ourselves, network, sell raffle tickets, activities like that. And during some of these sales, we would go out to the public and sell the tickets. Tickets for a million pads campaign, which I think is still going on. There was a time we were selling at a certain place. We approached a group of men and we told them about our initiative. They seemed not to take us serious. They were laughing. My pads, what's that? They are not that important. You could have put the money together to buy other things. And we even had some say, if you want us to buy a ticket, you must give us your phone numbers. You must tell us about yourself. You must come on a date with me, stuff like that. And I found that very wrong. And also, if you are to go into some organizations as a young lady, people will not take you very seriously. They'll think, what's gonna maslay queen, chi. And it's really not like that. We really do have a good cause going on. So I feel like, yes, women are given equal opportunities as well. I would also like to say that there are very many youth organizations that were even founded by young women. I'm going to give an example of Girls Are Us. They worked with Junior Council in my term of office. They helped us raise sanitary wear for young girls. And there are many various organizations. But the problem that we have is we are not aware. So if there's anyone who has an organization that works around young women leadership, it would be very helpful for them to go around in schools, organizations like Junior Council, Junior Parliament, work hand in hand, sponsorship. We would really appreciate that. So with that said, I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Tadiwa. We really appreciate the perspective that she has brought in to really make us aware that no, these young female are actually very serious. And you know, we didn't know that council then was just entirely a guys' organization. And it also shows that you know how proactive men are about things. Men will always come together and you know they quickly organize and chatonzi nevarumeta kutoita chinotoitika isusu vakadzi tinongotaura. You know, I was following, I will go back again to what you know, Honorable Muliswa was saying about the V8. Vachiti isusu toda mota dzekuti tinonorarama dziri tiri, and the men spoke so clearly about why they needed those cars, and it didn't take time. Takatoona motikari dzatotengwa. But tinenge tina mai vedu vamwe vari kutaura nezvemapedzi evakadzi, vonai vana vasikana vari kuda mapedzi, and men laugh about it, you know, because they don't experience what women go through. So we are very glad that Honorable is here. Saka ngati supportane semadzimai for the cause that really brings change to the women that we want to see. At this juncture, let me throw it back. Antimaona zvandaita ndabva kubusiness saka ndadivert. Funga dzedu dzazofunga futi kuti no, we are still women. We still need to hold back and understand that a woman is a holistic being. Ane tine zvakawanda zvinoti affecta tikati kubusiness. I'm glad that vana vedu, you know, they are being taught, you know, ndaiverenga bhuku re my grade 5 daughter, and I was amazed by the things that were being discussed in the dysfunctional families, gender, whatnot, abuse and stuff like that. And today we were reading Rewe grade 1 kuti manga muchidzidziswa izvi vachiri ku ECDB about how culture affects them, how this religious. And I was like, you know what, taifunga kuti zvakawandisa, but mwana akatokura atone that foundation, it means we are really going to achieve the equality that we want. My daughter akauya achicomplain, mama, the boys are beating me at school, they are bullying me. And then I said, who is that one? It's Jonah. You know, that's what he does. I said, you know what, this Jonah guy, anokurova every day, what? Says, yes, mommy, and now I don't want to go to school. I said, no, come here, my daughter. What you will do to Jonah tomorrow is when Jonah comes, you need to really punch him hard in the stomach, okay? And then she was like, oh, I said, please, don't cry to the teacher, don't tell anybody. When you're going to that water place, and once he starts doing it, punch him really hard in the stomach. Because I don't want to hear your stories. I can't go to school and say, Jonah, did you hit my daughter? You know, because next it will be Jonah's father coming for me, and I don't know how big they are, or the mother. So I said, you know your role. And you know what she did? 2 days after she came, she said, Mommy, I'm going. And you know, now I'm the hottest girl in class. I said, why? So, you know, I punched Jonah and he cried, Mommy. Everyone was saying, was it Chido who beat you? And so these days, now I've got, the boys are my friends. Gabriel is my friend, John is my friend, the other one. I'm now. So that's what we want. Girls who are empowered, who know their position. Good, I'm not going to be a mama's baby. So the boys now know, good, bullying, it doesn't work. Thank you. So now I will leave Rudo to tell us. especially Harefield. You know, it's so interesting that we have at such a time where our economy really needs the change that will bring it fast forward to really be where we are supposed to be, the bread basket yatangatiri. Rudo, here you are.
Thank you. I will try and put this in a meaningful context. Let me start a little bit by sharing about how I ended up in business. It was as a result of tragedy. My father died, and upon his death, he had a very big business interest which collapsed. And a lot of people whom I've encountered over the years seem to say, oh, you must have been born with a silver spoon. Life must have been wonderful because you had everything. Your father left you everything. That is not the case. I inherited debt. Okay? I'm speaking to the younger persons present here. My inheritance of the 7 children of my father as the eldest was debt. Okay? And at the age of 21, and you learn in life at that age that people change. It's a lesson. Are we together, guys? People are nice to you. Fire. And did it? Blinger. Oh, yeah. Pretend. Let things go wrong. And the very people that you expect to be there for you are the first people to disappear on you. Okay? So that was the beginning for me. That was the privilege and the blessing that God gave me. Because we say blessings are, my blessings in disguise. And for sure, but I'm sorry, what am I going to do? Within a year of my father dying, my mother died. Okay? I have 6 brothers and sisters. 3 are in the US. In business, because there was a judicial process going on, my father's bank accounts had been frozen. There were all sorts of things going on. No one. What did I start doing? Ndakaenda kumusha kwachota, kumusha kwa amai yangu. And kwachota kwairimwa maveji. And sekuru do always say, kuda mzukuru, muri wako wanisa kuno kutsvaga mota, uye tiendese kupi kumbari. That was my first exposure as to how horticulture and vegetables were moving in Zimbabwe, in Harare. Tatsvaga kamotikari ndaenda kupi kwachota. Ndonese kura kuloda. And for sure, taenda kumbari. I've never seen anything being sold so quickly. And Sekuru would say, Mzukuru Torah. He didn't say buy. And the Torah, so that was a seed. So that was a gift. That was my first loan. So I call it a loan because I made it a point to give it back. Because it was a seed. So that became my side. Cash flow. Cash Kukot kumatari mabweta kurukudewachi mari lokonyamsoro. I can't go to anyone. I can't ask for a loan. I'd walk into a bank and say, my name is Rudo Boka. Yowe, mona Rudo Boka. Yovane bank raka collapse. We don't want to deal with you. So no matter how sorted, it's okay. God will provide. So that was the beginning for me. It became a journey of 10 years of 19 court cases. 19 court cases. Mangwe magweta achiti, we can't represent you. Kune chinonzi conflict of interest. Lakatanga dzidza. I had no tertiary education, guys. Kam O-level, kam typist, kam secretary, kam betaka foundation for business studies. No degree. But each time I went to the court, and I would see the registrar of the High Court, and he'd say, Rudo, you've got time. You've got 10 days. you can enter an appearance to defend. Why am I sharing this with you, particularly the youngsters? Okay, my apologies. Let me not use the word youngsters. The younger people, the future leaders. And it is, imagine ground zero. Anything, as far as my opinion is concerned, when it comes to equality, has to be because you want it. It is not going to be given to you. You will demand it, and you will do what it takes for you to be able to be on that level playing field. So position yourself, and be aware of your emotions. Do not dismiss them, because within your emotions are your passions, your desires, your goals in life. And those do not determine whether we are going to be of service or whether we will be, it just depends, and there's no harm. We can choose to be whatever we want in our lives, but when you decide, the path is clear, and it's an issue of logistics going forward. So I needed to start to say, let's be clear with what we want. And then from there, let's now figure out how do we achieve what it is that we want. I'll move on then to say, yes, the court cases went by, and this for me, I particularly describe now as it was a tour of duty. This was an obligation for me to my parents' legacy, and what I needed to do for my 6 brothers and sisters, for them to be able to finish school and to come back and then decide which way they wanted to go. I'm in a position now where I'm doing what I love, and I don't have to do what I'm doing. I'm doing it because I want to, and I'm enjoying it. And it's a completely different state of affairs. That equality, that level playing field that I talked to you about. So ground zero, let's start with parents, mothers and fathers. It is how we raise our children. If I raise my daughter to enjoy playing with dolls, there will be a certain outcome, right? And only dolls. I didn't say there's anything wrong with it. I imagine if I raise my son to only play with dolls, there will also be an outcome, So if I raise my daughter to enjoy screwdrivers, toolboxes, engineering, toy JCBs, what are we inculcating? Minds of engineers, minds of pilots, So it starts with those of us that have been placed in positions of nurturing. Parenting does not have to be biological. Parenting can be because of circumstances. I was not their biological mother, but I was their parent. Okay? So any of us, and more so for those that have the blessing or opportunity to be able to bear forth a child, we must be very clear in our minds, right? This creation from God, how is this child's future been mapped out, whether I am there or not? Are we together? Right? So it begins with those of us that are in positions of nurturing. What are we putting in our minds? Okay? And it's great that we can raise good women to be great wives. It's great that we can raise good men to be good husbands. Okay? It's two to tango. But guess what? If we raise a man to revere women, if we raise the men to respect the women, would we ever have rape cases? No, we won't. If we raise the men who are going to enjoy the statements that behind every successful man is a woman, that's the beginning. Okay, so that's point number 2. Point number 3, I'll share a little bit about the business that I had a great deal of, I'll say, fun and great challenges. Yes, God has been good. The legal side is settled. Suddenly, I'm running a tobacco exchange. Youngest girl, in the industry to ever hold that position. Okay, not just youngest girl, but youngest person who happened to be female CEO, Boka Tobacco Flows. And they're all guys, eh? We want to see what she's going to do. Yeah, I know Shkwani said, what is it? I'm not degree, I'm not chikora. What did I do? I surrounded myself with clever people. I had accountants, I had lawyers, I had firms. Let them, so I would give them a mandate. This is what needs to be done. That's how we maneuver. So whatever your circumstances are, position yourself and align yourself and network with those whose core business it is. Okay? There are specialists, there are those that are just so good and natural at it. By the time, the issue of inequality was before my eyes. And this is well before I was a mother. In 2011 and 2012, babies were born at my workplace. Okay? And let me put this, let me tell you this touching story. A lady came. I deliver. I said, Baba, I got disappear. 1 week. I don't know where my husband is. Tapping the system, we're checking. Farmer X, for sure. Tobacco has been grown, it's been delivered, and this woman is looking for her husband. Baba is Babawa across the road. He has lost all the money, right? From drinking and enjoying the sweat of the woman who grew that crop. And this woman, and I said, but okay, fine. You're a couple, you're married, dad's come to sell. Why didn't you do it? I don't have an ID. And in a stoop. And in a bed. This is a woman. Okay? But she's working hard. She's producing a crop. But this man has just gone and thrown away. She was so stressed to learn that this is what had happened, that she got distressed. She went into labor and delivered a child. At the floors. And then, that's when I then said, guys, no, Takuda clinic. So I'm going to book a clinic. No, I'm not saying, okay? But oh my goodness, we are not just receiving an ordinary customer. We are now encountering social issues. Social issues where the majority of our customers who produce the crop are the women, but it is the men that are in the forefront who come to deal with the money. Because the woman doesn't have an ID, she can't open a bank account. So the money is deposited in the account of Baba, and Baba does as he sees fit. That's one example. Second example, not example, situation. Second baby that was born, lady came in, Chichi, yeah, come bank. Government clinic in the banking hall. Yes, and aiwa ndangoti rasiki mazuva angu ndandiri kuaziva apa pandandati pandinoitengesa ndowana mari ndo ndatenga preparation ndo ndamhanya kuchipatara muharare muno munoti kumusha hakuna chipatara chandati chakakodzera kuti ndibereke mwana wangu inini. Are we together, ladies? This is a woman who is striving, who wants a good birth for her child. She wants a healthy delivery. She wants this baby to come without complications. Two situations. I am 44 now. I had my first child 3 years ago. But if I tell you, Kuti, the importance of motherhood and nurturing, I would participate more in these events today because my respect for women needs to continue, needs to grow, and we need to do more, right? Now, I've talked about these particular situations, Kuti. Have you ever heard of a man going labor? Have you ever heard of a man ashupika ne labor? No, yeah, you know, we respect. Yeah, you know, Thank you. But because God has given us the ability to bring life, forth life, we need to be more aggressive, okay? We need to be stronger than the other gender. Whether equal or not, we have to strive further and further. And izvo ndo zvaticharamba tichitarisana nazvo, hazvisi kuzodini, hazvisi kuzochinja. But I look forward to our daughters and our sons, that as we raise you and as you raise your own, it's the mindset, the seeds that we sow into our heads, that equality is, there shouldn't be a question of equality. It's normal. People should have money. People should be able to work for their money. And people should be able to enjoy their money. The environment and the circumstances should be conducive. But first we must teach. It starts with the seed and wanting. Agnes is looking at me, so let me finish off. Right. I'll touch a little bit on corruption and a little bit about Maridza Taurwa na Mama Maigurongwa. Corruption kills productivity. It diminishes value. Okay? There was a radio program on my way here, and there were farmers who were talking about produce yedu kumbare and so forth and so forth. As my middlemen, ndo vari kutiudza kuti tinotambira mari. I won't go into how the middleman is existing and why is it easy for him to do what he's doing. But let me make a suggestion to say we can avoid the middlemen and the corruption loopholes when we start adding value to what we produce. Madomasi wayai, pane kuti tizosvika pakuti aora tatadza kuatengesa. Let's add value. Tomato puree, madomasi. I know it's negligible, guys. It sounds very little. But if we are not able to add, the middleman has no capacity to add value to something he has not produced. Never. So how do you deal with corruption? In my mind, it's very difficult to fight it. But you take away chinu chacho chiri kumpa miedzo. Toone kuti vanoita sei. Let's take it away. And you will deal with that which is in your hands. I will finish off and say, for the situations, a lot's been said about sextortion and so forth. Yes, these things are there. What did I do in my organization? I employed a woman as my human resources manager. So there's little stuff we can do in our corners. But whistle blow. Speak up. If we don't speak, if we don't share, we can never correct the problems. I think let me stop there for now and then share a little bit more later. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rudo. Very essential points that she highlighted. The area around socialization. How are we socializing our children? What is it that we are putting inside the young generation? Generation equality. What are we saying to the boys? Murukusuka ere maplate kumba kana kuti unomirira jeni kuti ndiachasuka because musikana. Those are the things that we want to run away from. Hanzi, it's better to teach our sons respect, to make them grow very respectable. We also respect women. So once we have that as a culture, as we grow up, then we are going to find that issues of inequalities are going to be very rare. Issues of corruption, because unotanga wazvifunga iwewe kuti no, what am I doing? This is my sister. If my sister cooked for me, surely I should do the dishes. We do it at home. We've got a boy, tutuzoti go budi. If you do the breakfast, then you know that the dinner is done by somebody else. So we have to inculcate that in our children, in ourselves, to say, you know what, I'm going to be that man. I'm going to be a different species. I'm going to stand for women. I'm going to push the agenda. I want to see this equality happening. And you'll be so proud of yourselves because women are ready. And on that note, I will go to Panzi Pamongo Pacho. I will give our honorable to just also highlight around the issues of inequality. Moreover, I would love, the perspective that she's also going to bring of women facing disabilities. Was it a challenge for her to get where she was, or was it a privilege? I was thinking of it today. Do you know, there are people who look at things differently. You know, disability, ability. How is that? To say there is no boundary, there is no restriction. And for women, it's actually very important to say, you know what, we have those women who are saying, we want to move forward. So the younger generation, because in Dakati, it means there is no barrier. And age is also not a barrier. So my dear...
I was looking at the program and I was not there. So I said, wow, what am I going to talk about? So you've made my life so easier. Yeah. One day I talked about myself, as she's talking about it, to say, was it not a challenge to be where you are? Just a nobody. But I was not a nobody anyway. I was somebody. But I looked at myself as a nobody. That is what I can say. I was a hard worker, cooking for my family, washing for my family, making sure my kids has gone to school, which means I was not formally employed, but I was employed in my own home. Though I was doing unpaid care work. And I think it's a doing South. That was my job. Then I was involved in a car accident. Done. You think, I'm done. Yeah, when I came back home, I was in South Africa. When I came back home, I thought, wow, I'm finished. And then my doctor told me a story to say, okay, you are going home now. When you go home, your family will be so close to you, just for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, if you call to say, can you bring me some water? They will take their time. And they will shout and shout. And they will know that because no, the doctor doesn't know me. My family loves me so much. They will never do that. So when I came home, 2 weeks later, if you call, nobody will answer. They will come at their own time. Said, I've finished. Because I thought I just in few months or few years I'll be dead because of the accident. But that was not God's plan. Yeah. One day I met a woman who said, can you join an organization? I said, oh yes. Then I joined an organization for persons with disability. And he said, we want to form an organization for women. Unfortunately, my director passed on. You're supposed to go to Jarosiri in the state. I was from a rehab where I was trained that no, you are supposed to live with your family and be a mother to your own children, give them again for the rest of your life, but you have to accept it. Because that is it. Career. From there, yeah. She's smiling because they are the ones who groomed me. I couldn't construct a sentence in English. I couldn't. Because she called her personal. And now degree Rudo 7. Kanoka zoita maringa kutu. So I couldn't construct any sentence in English. But being in organization, being groomed by other women, it made me to be able to construct sentences in English. Yes, when I'm talking to you now, but I don't mean to say to you students, be like me. No. A very big no. I regret my past. Why didn't I do it? My parents had it all. My father was a businessman, so why didn't I? Kutamba. But Shagapura, don't do it. Because in life, unosangana na opportunities. Anenga achida kuti daone a degree, daone a masters, daone a PhD. And you regret, you always say, but however, I was so lucky because I had people to groom me to be where I am. I became the executive director, as I said, with the challenges. Being executive director doesn't mean those who are around you, they love you. No. But it needs courage.